You will own nothing and be happy has long been Klaus Schwab's favourite phrase, a big phrase of the World Economic Forum, the cornerstone of Agenda 2030, and of course it's sold to us as some great thing. You won't have to have responsibility for anything, we will look after everything. I mean, it's not even really explained to us, it's just this conditioning line. I mean, it's even been on like posters and billboards in London. This is no conspiracy theory, this is a World Economic slogan. You will own nothing and be happy, which obviously to anyone who's able to think critically and has any sort of eyes to see, very clearly all part of the satanic elite small hat agenda to enslave and control you and eventually live in a society that looks very much like Hunger Games, which is where 15-minute cities are leading. But I always wondered how they were going to do it. How were they, like, I can see how they were going to take houses off people that had mortgages, for example, just put the interest rates up. You know, I can see how they're going to take most things off most people, but I was always like, how are they going to take houses off people if they already own them outright? Even though I understand that there's no such thing as really owning a house in the UK and presumably most of the Western world, you don't really own anything. But still, I couldn't really work out how they were going to take people's houses off them. Well, here it is. It's just been announced in Holland that they are now going to have capital gains tax on unrealized capital. So that is taxation on assets you own before you've even sold them. Now again, those of us that are conscious, those of us that are able to think critically, realised a long time ago that pretty much all taxation, or at least 98% of taxation, is theft. When you look at what it gets spent on, so right now it's being used to destabilise our societies, it's been used to promote the woke agenda, it's been used to no, I can't say that one. YouTube won't like that one. It's been used to pay for an invasion of our own countries. You know, think of the hotel costs. I mean, COVID was outrageous. They were paying thousands and thousands of pounds to people to wear fucking televisions on their heads saying keep 6 meters apart. You know, that's your money. They were spending millions of pounds on PPE contracts to, at the time, Tories who created these PPE companies overnight, then got £1 million contracts, and then the PPE equipment never even got fucking used in many cases. You know, basically it's a laundering system, it's a theft system disguised as taxation. Obviously we're told that they need it for the hospitals and the roads. I mean, look at the quality of your hospitals and roads. They don't even spend much money on them at all. Not even enough money to maintain them, let alone improve them. But let's just pretend they were doing a good job of all that. All that could be done with about 2% of what we take. Essentially, it's a money laundering system. This is how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Of course, there's loads of other ways, like devaluing other currencies, loads and loads of ways. But essentially, if one group can take money off another group through taxation or theft, then obviously you're going to end up with one very rich, powerful group and, you know, a load of peasants that can then be controlled and, you know, offed or, you know, enslaved or hunted. But this is a whole new level. Like, even the fucking retarded, libtarded, blue-haired, septum-pierced fucking retard that can't fucking see anything, even they surely will see that taxation on capital gains that haven't been realised is literally theft, because there's nothing there to tax. There's no profit being made to tax. So this is how they're going to get people's homes off them. You have a home that's worth 500,000 and over 10 years, let's say, it becomes worth $1 million. Well, suddenly you have $500,000 in unrealised gains that has to be taxed. Now, Holland are suggesting a 36% tax, but just so I can do the maths, let's pretend it was a 20% tax. So on $500,000, that's £100,000 that suddenly you have to find, but you haven't sold your house, so you haven't got those profits, you haven't got £100,000. So what do you have to do? You have to sell your house just to pay the tax. So you sell your house for $1 million, You paid 500 for it, so you've got $500,000 profit. They take 100 grand of that. Let's say the property market then collapses. Not a very good example using property, but if I'd have used gold, then that goes up and down all the time. If I'd have used Bitcoin, even better example, very temperamental. The point is, they don't give you the money back. So let's say the property market crashes and goes back down to 500,000, or let's switch the example to Bitcoin so it's completely realistic. So you've just sold £1 million worth of Bitcoin because they told you you had to pay £100,000 on the $500,000 you'd made in Bitcoin. And now that Bitcoin has gone back down to $500,000, so there isn't even this pretend realized gains or unrealized gains that they said there were. Are they going to give you that money back now that the capital has devalued? No, of course not. So it only works one way, and this is how. The reason I probably shouldn't have switched examples halfway through. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I started off using the house example because I want to explain how they're going to take your houses off you. They're just going to start taxing you on the increased value of it. You don't have that money, so you have to sell your house. And of course, who will you sell it to? You'll sell it to BlackRock, who are buying up all the houses now. You'll own nothing and be happy. Have you noticed how they're creating this subscription model for everything? You know, at first we had Netflix and Sky Sports, but now it's literally everything. I mean, it's getting to the point where if you buy a brand new car, if you want the heat seating element to work, or you want the air conditioning to work, that's a subscription. HP printers, you buy the printer, you buy the ink. If you want to print from it, you need a subscription. Microsoft Word, you buy the fucking laptop, you buy the software. If you want to keep using it, you need a subscription. So they're getting us used to this subscription, renting. You know, it's going to be everything soon. You want a TV, you rent it. I mean, they've even got that, haven't they, with like 0% buy now, pay later, you know. Getting us used to this, paying monthly, paying weekly, you know. It's so fucked, man. This is the agenda. This is Agenda 2030. They've been telling us you will own nothing and be happy. And it wasn't until this... So this is Holland that have introduced this. But obviously we know it's all one big club. Nation after nation, we are conquering nation. So it's a totalitarian tiptoe, you know. It starts with a phone, then it becomes a watch, then it becomes glasses, then it becomes some head kit, then it's a chip in your fucking brain. It's the totalitarian tiptoe. So they've chosen a country like Holland, which is, sorry Dutch people, but fairly insignificant on the global scale, to get it out there, to get the outrage out there, and then it will just be moved across, or to move beyond the outrage period, I should say, the normalization process that we go through with everything. Diversity is your strength, you know, these fucking slogans, you will own nothing and be happy, that just normalise satanic tyranny, essentially. Also, you'll notice it doesn't start till 2028, another tactic of the totalitarian tiptoe and the normalisation, putting it out there, but you know, it's a couple of years off, no one really reacts, oh, that can't be real, that can't really be happening, and then it gets normalised, and of course there'll be more publications and talk about it, until by the time of 2028, it's just like, oh right, yeah, that's what's happening now, I've heard that enough times for my brain to be programmed and believe that that's just the reality now. Take my money, let me suck you off, oh slave owner. So it will start in Holland, but it will soon spread across Europe, all of the Western world. They'll take all of your assets off you through this policy to the point where you will own nothing and be unhappy. You will be a peasant, you will be a slave, you will be on universal basic income, and you will have to do whatever they tell you to do. There'll be many of you watching this video going, well, I don't own any assets, this doesn't apply to me. Well, in that case, they've already got you. In that case, you have a job that you're living paycheck to paycheck, and your job is going to be replaced by AI in the next 5 years, and you will be on universal basic income, you will own nothing, and you will be unhappy. So you're part of this too. The people obviously that will have options with this are the people that do own assets, and this is why it's so important to leave the West ASAP, because they are going to take everything off you. And there's also been a lot of talk, it was in the Times, that the UK government, the Labour Party, are seriously considering and would like to implement a 20% exit tax soon. So if you want to leave the UK, or no one really wants to leave their homeland, I didn't want to leave my homeland, but if you realise that the only way that you will not be a slave, the only possibility that you won't be a slave, also that you won't be wiped out by the migrant army that they're also creating. I mean,
it's okay, no problem. So we know, actually we are military guys, and actually we are military guys, and we have worked with your army and special forces there, and we have worked with your army and special forces there, and we have families back in Afghanistan.
That was, it was disguised that Boat the Camel's black, but when I first left, when I went to Thailand for the first time, you know, I was saying to people, I'm leaving because they're creating a migrant army that's going to kill us. And that was like 4 years ago, but I could see about 3-4 years ago. So genuinely, like, for me, staying in the UK, staying in the West just isn't an option if you want to stay alive in the next 5 or 10 years. But now we've also got this whole, you know, if you don't want to be a peasant and a slave, you're going to have to leave very soon before they implement the 20% exit tax and the 36% tax on anything and everything you have owned, even if you haven't sold it. And therefore you haven't made any profit. You just have the asset sat there. You haven't actualized any gains. How the hell are you supposed to pay these taxes on unrealized capital gains without selling the capital? I.e., this is a way of making sure that nobody has any assets, and all the assets through BlackRock and through Vanguard and, you know, essentially their masks make their way to the very, very, very small percentage of people that aren't even the people that I talk about a lot. You know, they're beyond them. I don't even know what they are, whether they're human and who they are. Like, we don't know. These are the secret society that clearly control the world. And it's clear that there's an agenda running through the world. Just look at 2020 and how everyone reacted in uniform to COVID. You know, and literally the same slogans, like these clips you get. Hopefully I can find one of news companies from all around the globe saying exactly the same slogans. Sadly, I couldn't find that. The best example is new normal. Remember that phrase, new normal? And there was literally the video I'm about to show you, the same video from news corporations all around the world saying new normal, new normal, new normal. This one is just based in the US, but it still illustrates the point really well.
Dangerous to our democracy.
This is extremely 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 dangerous to our democracy.
It's very clear that there is an agenda coming from above. And I say that like I'm trying to prove it to you. What's the World Economic Forum? What's Klaus Schwab? What's Agenda 2030? None of these things are conspiracy theories. They're all fucking right there. And they say right to your face, 2030 you will own nothing and be happy. Fucking bonkers. Let me know in the comments if this changes anything for you. Are you planning on leaving the UK? Were you not planning on leaving the UK, but now with this new sense of robbery, absolute out and out robbery, does that change things for you? Were you aware of the 20% exit tax that they're talking about bringing in? Do you honestly think that if you do stay in the UK that you'll still be alive in 10-20 years? Do you not see that they are creating a migrant army? Yeah, please don't shoot the messenger. Like, I don't like pointing this shit out. I know it triggers people. I know I get unsubscribers when I speak like this, but this is the reality. Like, what do you want me to do? Pretend that Rupert Lowe's going to save the day and that he's not just another puppet created by the same club like every single politician is, every single time, you know? I don't want to be right, but I'm just going off the experience of my life and what I can see, you know? If you find it helpful and you appreciate, you know, the information I'm putting out there, even if it's not information that anybody really wants to hear or to be true, then please do click some buttons, drop a comment, support the channel. Thank you. Big love.